Take two. Okay, so we're going to go over the skull landmark list that Dr. Phelan gave us in class. So if you can come on in here and see close, we're going to start on page 1, anterior view. Just going right down the line. First, the frontal bone, which is pretty easy, this whole section. You have the coronal suture right here. Comes all the way across here, and then this superior portion within the orbit is also frontal bone. Frontal notch, sometimes also known as supraorbital foramen. You see number 2 and number 3. That'll be right here. On this model, it's a notch, so it would be a frontal notch. Sometimes it'll actually be a foramen, the supraorbital foramen. Next is the orbit, or orbital cavity. That's just where your eyeball goes, this whole section. And then you have your wings of the sphenoid. So you can actually see, we'll show you the lateral view later, but you can actually see greater wing of the sphenoid. It's kind of hard to see the suture right there, but come in and look at the models. It's above the inferior inferior orbital fissure. So that's greater wing of the sphenoid. And then lesser wing of the sphenoid you can't see very well on the model, but it's just superior to the superior orbital fissure, right in there. Okay, so that's greater wing and lesser wing. Oh yeah, look at the book.
Just to show you a little picture from the book, that gives you just a better idea.
So let's look at this one. That would be greater wing right there. That would be lesser wing right there. And the dividing line between the two is the superior orbital fissure. Okay? Zygomatic bone, your cheekbone, can be all this right here. Meets with the frontal bone here, meets with the temporal bone here. Zygomatic. Infraorbital foramen is actually in the maxilla. You can see it on these models. See right there. The maxilla, again, this section right here, so all that. Okay? Actually goes back into there, so. The mental foramen, so let's go to this. This is on your jaw. Mental foramen, right there. Mental protuberance, just where your chin is. Anterior nasal spine, go back to the skull. An anterior nasal spine is kind of where the vomer, which is this perpendicular bone right here, meets the maxilla. So anterior nasal spine, right there. You can feel it on yourself, it would be the bottom of your nose. Lacrimal bone, yep, Kyle's feeling his nose right now. Lacrimal bone is going to be right in here. And you can actually see the lacrimal canal. It's this small bone, the lacrimal bone. The nasion, Dr. Phelan explained this to us as a radiological landmark. It's where the two nasal bones meet the frontal bone. So right here at the top of your nose, if you feel like right there. So
sure,
where
is that Derek?
Yes, where the top of your nasal bones meet your frontal bone.
Awesome.
Right where your eyebrows are. Okay? And then the glabella is kind of this area between the eyebrows.
Kind of the unibrow area.
Exactly. Video 1.